Hello, everyone. Welcome to our third episode of our series, Rushing into Space. This is an intermediate class, and I hope you really enjoy the content. Let's watch the intro. Hi, welcome to our class. Today we're going to talk about the sun, the star of our solar system. Let's hit it. Our sun is a 4.5 billion year old yellow dwarf star, a hot glowing ball of hydrogen and helium at the center of our solar system. The sun is about 93 million miles or 150 million kilometers from Earth, and without its energy, life as we know it could not exist here on our home planet. It is about 110 times wider than Earth. The sun is the largest object in our solar system. The sun's volume would need 1.3 million Earths to fill it. Its gravity holds the solar system together, keeping everything from the biggest planets to the smallest bits of debris in orbit around it. All right, this text is not very difficult to understand, but we have to pay attention to some words, okay? First, I'm going to explore the words that are not in pink, okay, so you can understand the text properly, okay, with the words that I'm not going to explain later. So, a yellow dwarf is like uma estrela amarela anã, tá? Uma estrela anã. Dwarf means anão. Remember Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, all right? It's a hot glowing ball of hydrogen and helium. These are gases, right? At the center of our solar system. The sun is about 93 million miles or 100 million kilometers from Earth. Here we're talking about the distance from the sun to the Earth, all right? And without its energy, life as we know it could not exist here on our home planet. We need the energy from the sun, the heat from the sun, okay, to have liquid water in our planet in order to have life here. The sun is about 110 times wider than Earth. So it's like 110 times bigger than Earth. The sun is the largest object in our solar system. It means that there is no object that is bigger than the sun in our system. The sun's volume, now we're talking about the complete volume. If you have an object, a ball, that is 110 times bigger than another ball, you can fill this ball with approximately 1.3 million other balls like to fill it. So we could put 1.3 million Earths inside the sun to complete its volume. Its gravity, the gravity of the sun, sticks, okay, the solar system together. It's the sun's gravity that makes all the objects of the solar system continue being part of the solar system. Without its gravity, we would be lost in space, or we would be nothing because we wouldn't exist. Of course we wouldn't. Okay? Keeping everything from the biggest planets to the smallest bits of debris in orbit around it. Okay? Now I want you to pay attention to those words in pink here. Glowing, wider, volume, the verb to fill, together, bits, debris. All right, one more time. Glowing, wider, volume, fill, together, bits, debris. Now, let's take a look at those definitions here and let's find which of these words these definitions fit, all right? So, the remains of destruction. Okay, imagine you have a demolition to do at your apartment. You have a wall, you want to bring this wall down, and you have to destroy this wall. The remains, all those objects, okay, those objects that will remain from the work will be called debris. All right, so here we're going to put the letter G, debris. Okay, now let's take a look at the other definition here. Small pieces of something. Small pieces of something. Which of these words can we put here? It would be letter F, bits, okay? Small pieces of things, we call it bits, ok? Tem até uns chocolates, assim, não lembro de qual que é, que você compra, que você fala, ah, não sei o que, bits, que é pedacinho, tá? Having a greater extent. Having a greater, a bigger extent. Wider, letter B, wider. Something that is shining, producing light. Letter A, glowing. To keep things in one piece. To keep things in one piece. What would that be? That would be to hold together. To hold together. The total space that something occupies. The total space that something occupies. Volume. This is the volume. And to complete the space, to fill. To complete the space, to fill. So let's repeat the words and expressions one more time. Glowing, wider, volume, to fill, to hold together, bits, debris. Excellent. Let's move on. Now we're going to learn the layers of the sun. The sun has inner layers, okay, which are inside its structure. And it has outer layers that are external layers, right? External parts. When we are talking about layers, I want you to imagine, let me see, a cake, for example. A cake. Some cakes have 3 layers. One layer is the cake itself. Then you have another layer of filling. And then you have another layer, one on another. All right? So let's talk Let's talk before about the inner layers, okay? We have the core of the sun, okay, which is the central part of the sun and the hottest one. We have the radiative zone, and we have the convection zone, okay? The radiative zone, of course, the name itself explains, and the convection zone is the place where there is transmission of temperature, okay, from the inner layers to the outer layers, okay? So this would be the core of the sun, right? Then this part would be the radiative zone, and then the convection zone. Okay, a little bit. I think I put it in the opposite. Okay, it's in the opposite order, but that's it. Okay, the core, the radiative zone, and the convection zone. And then after the convection zone, we have the photosphere, all right, the chromosphere, the transition region, and then the corona. The corona is the glow of the sun, right? It's like an atmosphere of the sun. And then we have the corona. So these are the layers of the sun. Let's repeat them again. We have the core, radiative zone, sorry, convection zone, photosphere, chromosphere, the transition region, and the corona. All right? Okay, now let's learn some facts about the sun. It orbits the center of our galaxy. We know that the moon, okay, spins around the earth. We know that the earth spins around the sun, but also the sun, our system, our entire system, okay, is not in a fixed spot at the universe. No, it's also spinning. It's also orbiting. What is it orbiting? It's orbiting a massive black hole in the middle of our galaxy, okay, in the center of our galaxy, called Sagittarius A. Okay, if you want to know a little bit more about that, but let's imagine that it has more, I'm not sure, but the size of I'm not sure of the correct amount, but the size of this massive black hole is like more than 1,000,000 suns. Okay, so way more than 1,000,000 suns. So it's really big. And our entire galaxy, okay, all the objects spins around it, orbits this massive black hole. Let's get back to the sun. A solar year takes 230 million Earth years to complete. So, to the sun, okay, take a complete orbit around Sagittarius A. It takes 230 million Earth years to complete, right? Okay, now we have the right number, the sharp number here. It is 109.2 times larger than Earth. The sun, as the Earth, is 4.5 billion years old. Ok, billion. Tem billion aqui, ó, que vocês não estão lendo, porque vocês não têm visão, gente. Mas tem billion escondidinho aqui no meu coração. Ok, it is 4.5 billion years old. And the distance between the Earth and the Sun is what we call 1 astronomical unit. Okay, so whenever you see longer distances, like space distances, you can see this unit of measure, which is an astronomical unit, which is exactly the distance between the average distance between the Earth and the Sun, which is 149,597,870.7 kilometers. All right? So I want you to pay attention to those numbers here, because right now we're going to learn some tips to learn how to write numbers properly. So let's take a look here. At the beginning of sentences, we're always going to write numbers out. We have to spell them out, write them using words, except for years, okay? So if you want to say 4 cars were taken by the criminals, you have to write out the number 4. You can't use figures, all right? Let's just take a look here. Figures, written out number. Can you see the difference? These are figures, okay, that represent 300, and this is 300 written out, okay? So you can't only put four, like in figure here. You have to write four in words. So 4 cars were taken by the criminals, except for years. Here I'm writing like 2021 was a great year, so I can write the year in figures, right? No problem. Compound numbers from 21 through 99 and written out fractions should be hyphenated. So you can't only write 21, it's 20 hyphen 1. Okay, 72, 2/3, 1/2. Okay, written out fractions. We always hyphenate them. And another thing that I want you to pay attention to is that the symbols we use to organize the numbers in English are the opposite than the ones we use in Portuguese. In Portuguese, we separate the periods, right? The ones, the thousands, and the millions using a period, right? A point. And the decimals we separate with a comma. In English, it's the opposite. We're gonna use the point to separate the decimals, and we're gonna use the comma to separate the periods, the ones, the tens, the thousands, the millions, and etc. Okay? So guys, I hope you enjoyed this class today. I hope you learned a lot. I know this class was a little bit longer, but it's not a very basic class. And I hope you learned a lot from us today. And I hope you enjoy our series. And our next class is going to be about the solar system. And I hope you're here. See you. Bye-bye.